Broadcasting live from St. Petersburg, Florida, with Wood and Scott Squatch. And not me. This is The Morning Wood.
Good morning, Wood, everyone. And for the first time on Morning Wood, well, in person anyway, we have Scott Squatch from JHMDF.
Me, Donkey Kong.
You've been on the show before, but like via Skype and not actually ever in real life. So here you go.
I've never sat next to the Morning Wood.
Okay, so to start, we're going to read some comments from last week. Although I will say... not good?
It's a little...
I was actually going to say that, sorry there hasn't been a Morning Wood in a few weeks. Actually, the whole getting to Florida... There's been a Morning Wood for a few weeks. Are you laughing at that? The whole getting to Florida situation meant a lot of catching flights. I went to Reno for a weekend, and then we went to Atlanta for a weekend, and it was just impossible to film. But, actually, we're touring again soon. You and me are driving up to Retropalooza in Texas.
It's about a 16-hour car ride or so.
Which is going to put a spanner in the works, but I'm going to do my best to try and get a video out Wednesday and Saturday still. If not Wednesday, then at least Saturday, and normality should return in hopefully a few weeks' time. For now, we're going to dive in and read some comments from the last Morning Wood. Dragon13 wants to know what our favourite console is. From Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft, we're just going to pick one console from the three. What would yours be?
I guess if we're talking about, like, the lineage of those systems, probably the original PlayStation for me. It's where Silent Hill started. It's where Resident Evil started. So, that would be mine.
I'd have to say either the NES or the GameCube, but it's definitely going to have to be Nintendo for me. I am a Nintendo boy, and that's nothing that I've ever kept secret. So.
I like them all, though. They all are fine by me.
Gotta catch them all.
Yes.
Derpy Link asked, what's your favourite flavour of colour? And I actually have an answer for this, and I reckon it's purple/grape.
Mine's clear.
Clearly not, because you're not enjoying your water very much.
It's not very clear.
Okay, a lot of these questions are actually targeted towards, well, to me and Derek from that episode, but you're Derek now.
I can pretend to be Derek.
You're Derek now. We were going to Skype Derek, but
Doesn't his hair kind of go like this?
We couldn't really find a way of fitting Super Derek in here.
Hi, guys.
So...
This is Super Derek.
This is Super Derek. The Retro Collectors wanted to know how many amiibos we have.
Do you know how many amiibos Derek has?
Derek has 0. No, he has a Toon Link. I believe that's the only amiibo he has.
Derek has 1.
His wife bought it for him, and he said that it was a stupid toy or something, and she didn't buy him anymore. I probably have around 13, 14. I have the ones that I want to have, like the Zelda series, and Pac-Man, and Ness, and all the Fire Emblems.
I was originally just going to get the ones that were for games that I was like owning, that would work in those games, and then I decided just to get... I treat them like toys. I mean, I have a lot of friggin' toys and action figures and stuff, so I just like, you know what, I'll get the toys that I like the characters for. So I don't have any of the Pokemon, so I'm not really into Pokemon. I don't have Wii Fit Trainer or Little Mac, and that's basically it. So I have every other one except for the Pokemons and those other two.
But I didn't...
Did you still have hair in your drink? How did that happen?
I molt. Blaze Overclock 54 had a question targeted towards me, but I guess you could answer it as well, which is, are your consoles American? Every console that I wanted American, I bought. So I have 2 PlayStation 2s and 1 American, I have 2 GameCubes, 1 American, I have 2 64s, one's actually Japanese, but it's been modified to play American games. So
the only non-American systems I have a PAL European PS2, and I have a Famicom edition of the Game Boy Micro.
Okay, let's move on to some gaming topics. So thank you everyone for the questions, and if you leave questions down below this week, we'll answer them on the next Morning Wood, which will hopefully be next week, but if not, it will be when it is. So the first thing I want to talk about, and you didn't really want to talk about it, and I don't want to put a negative light on it, but it's Marty number 9.
We watched a video last night. What was it? It was like a...
It was like 13-minute of the gameplay.
Yeah, it was for like... wasn't like a Kickstarter video?
Yeah,
like...
I think it was like the recent like demo gameplay video. And the reason why you don't want to talk about it is because I thought it looked lame.
I mean, I didn't... No, I don't think it looks like an amazing game, but I think it looks like if you liked Mega Man, I don't see why you wouldn't like this. It just seems very straightforward platforming.
I think the biggest issue that a lot of people were having was the fact that it was like $4 million or something like that invested into the game, and it kind of looks like something that could have been done on even $1 million budget.
Yeah, they like the color blue. There's a lot of blue.
There's a lot of blue. There's a few scenes where there's just like blue and then you have a little bit of orange splashed into the side. But I thought the gameplay looked very average. The enemies looked kind of boring. It didn't really have a Mega Man feel to it.
It has a really... The trailer at least didn't show what we watched, but it has a cool multiplayer element too. So, I mean, hopefully that, will sort of make it up for people like Wood that doesn't seem to really get in... enjoyment out of just the single player aspect.
I thought some of the 3D animations looked good. I thought some of the enemies themselves looked good. I just kind of felt like the things those enemies were doing just didn't put any kind of challenge towards the guy that was playing the demo.
It did get pushed back also, so maybe what exactly are they pushing back for?
I think it was built up so much, and then it's kind of just like, there it is.
It's not like a $60 game though. At least it's going to be a budget title in the sense of not having to blow that much money on it.
And hopefully it ends up being better than that demo. But I'll play it either way. I just might not enjoy it as much as I was hoping. I wanted to mention real quick, I like little cool Google Easter eggs and stuff like that, and this is one that I found yesterday for the 30th anniversary of Mario. If you type Mario Bros into Google search, it actually comes up with a little coin block that you can click and it does a little ding, 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 ding. And
if you do it 1 million times, you get $1 million.
Actually, if you do it 100 times, you get a 1-up.
Oh,
but
I didn't know that.
$1 million? No, not $1 million. You don't get $1 million. But that's cool, and you should go try it out if you haven't. But here's another thing that irks me, but I don't think you seem to mind as much, is in the new Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U, there's a DLC stage for Mario Maker coming, I don't know when, soon, in a couple months or something. But what irks me is it's $2.50 for the stage, or $3.50 to get it on both consoles. Both Wii U and 3DS. And I think the reason why it irks me is because I don't like DLC in general, and when I think of a stage, like one stage for this game costing $2.50, there's so much content in this game, and the game costs, what, $70?
64, yeah.
When you break it down to every bit of content, the stages are worth $2.50, and to have to buy it on both consoles, you don't even get a code for both.
Yeah, I mean, for me, sort of like what he said, I'm not into DLC content. I just don't ever buy it. But at the same time, I guess they could have made it worse. They could have made it where you had to pay full price for the stage on both platforms. But I understand what you're saying. If you actually spent the full price to get both games on both systems, why not just have you buy the stage and then you get the other version of the stage for free?
I really think that's how it should be. Like, buying characters, if you like playing both the games on both platforms and you want to get Mewtwo, you gotta invest, $10? I think it's $5 for a character, $3 for a character. Whether it's $6 or $10, having to invest that much to play with a character maybe a few times to have the complete roster.
Well, that's the way. I mean, that's how games are these days. Is you buy. A cat just died. That's how a lot of games are these days. You buy a game, and then before the game's even out, you're already seeing what you're going to have to buy afterwards if you want to enjoy it. We were looking at Assassin's Creed.
We can talk about that right now. It makes sense. So we got really excited for half a second as we were looking for game news today because we saw Jack the Ripper was coming to Assassin's Creed Syndicate. And I love the Assassin's Creed games. I don't know if you've even played them.
Yeah.
You play them? So they said, you're into your horror, that would have been cool, but then we noticed right away that it's already planned DLC.
For the season pass also.
The game's not even out yet. It's probably not out to October or November or something like that, and they're already announcing the DLC. If you have it there already, just put it in the game. The worst case of this for me was Gears of War 3, I'm pretty sure it was 3. Okay, when that came, it actually had 4 or 5 extra maps on the disc. Mm-hmm. It came on the disc, and then about a month later they released DLC that let you unlock them.
Yep.
So, when you actually downloaded that DLC for Gears of War 3, it was a 1 megabyte download because it was already on the disc.
The last thing that I think I ever bought, but maybe there was a couple Halo maps or something, but I remember trying out horse armor for Elder Scrolls, and that was when DLC content was first coming out, and I was like, wow, that was stupid. So I just never really went back.
Obviously we're bred from a different generation, and we're retro gamers, and we're used to getting a game, sticking in and playing that game. It sucks that probably kids now are just used to DLC.
Oh, no, yeah.
Used to looking forward to getting their DLC.
And if you're okay with it, and you don't mind, I want that extra content, I'm going to pay $10 extra to get more content, to extend the life of your game. I understand the extending the life of the game part, that's fine. But to me, there are so many games that I want to play. I'm not these are my 5 games I play. You know, to someone that maybe plays Call of Duty and like Battlefield and just a few handful of games, then it makes more sense that way. But
I mean, I get DLC in a lot of cases. I still don't like buying it, and I have a few times. But for the most part, if it comes on the disc, it comes on the disc.
Yeah.
Gears of War 3 didn't need to have that extra update. If you are making a game right now and you already have that thing ready, like Jack the Ripper, put it on the game. If a game's not ready and you're releasing a game yearly, if it's like an unfinished f***ing game, then don't expect me...
I think the biggest thing is to hear about it before the game comes out.
Just don't expect...
Save it for after the game comes out, at least, you know.
People to pay for your unfinished game to finish it.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like. I swore on Morning Wood. I haven't done that before. I was getting really into it then. I apologize. And for the last bit of game news today, we actually saw this morning that there is a new Resident Evil.
There is.
How exciting. What's going to happen in this one? Story and stuff?
No.
No? Oh,
It doesn't look like a lot of story. Honestly, I'm hoping it doesn't end up being Operation Raccoon City again. It's a first-person shooter. It's multiplayer online. It's supposed to be like fast-paced, close quarters, and I don't know. It doesn't look like scary. You know, it just looks like action-packed.
I saw it right away and I'm like, nah, I'm not a big multiplayer fan in general, and there's so many first-person shooter multiplayer games, it's just going to blend in, and then after 2 weeks people are going to go back to playing Call of Duty anyway.
Yeah.
But something that did excite me when I read after is that you only get one life. At least for the game type they were displaying, it's one life and then you die, which is fantastic. Going back to Gears of War, in Gears of War 2, Deathmatch, you had one life and you died, and that was it. You watched your team finish the round, and it was the most epic and amazing thing to either watch or be the last man standing. And I think that suits this game perfectly.
I like at least seeing what they're going to do with Resident Evil games, even if it does end up being something I don't really enjoy a lot. But anything that would maybe there might be a part story mode to it. You know, they might add some sort of element like that to it.
Well, for me, if it's a one-man life thing, and that's what the actual game type people are playing, and they're not all playing team deathmatch where you get 30 lives.
Are you still thirsty? You can have some more of that.
And you get 30, then I'll play the game because I love that sort of gameplay, and hopefully the game doesn't suck and it can make it worth playing.
There are zombies in it.
There are zombies, and you can use them as shields as well, which is kind of cool. And that's it for the gaming news and reading your comments. Thank you for watching, and I'm sorry there hasn't been one for a while, as I said, but they'll keep coming. Thank you, Scott, for coming on this episode.
Sorry I laughed and spit my water out.
Scott's not used to doing... this isn't professional. We're sat here with a crappy little tripod and a light. But he's used to just holding his camera like this and filming vlog style. So if you want to check out him, he finds out the game. He finds out the games. He catches people slippery on a lot of rare and recently you found like an Earthbound. I'm going to ruin it for you. You found Earthbound, and
a friend of mine found it in his underwear drawer.
Yeah,
forgot he had it.
And I was in that video too, and if you want to check it out, there'll be links in the description, and there'll be a link right here. Also, some exciting news, there is now Morning Wood shirts available for you to buy. If you want to buy them, you need to install the Adapt Me app on your iPhone or Android device, and then follow the prompts.
DLC?
I'll put... No. I'll put directions in the link in the description below, as well as the comment section. So, Morning Wood shirts... Thank you to everyone that's already bought them. And there's Game Quest shirts for those of you who watch the Game Quest, which I'm assuming is most people if you're here watching this video. And one last thing, the vlog channel has a whole new look, so go check it out. You actually renamed it for me, and I much prefer the name, which is...
well, I went through a bunch of shitty names, and then we ended up at You're Watching Wood.
I like it.
Straightforward.
I like it. We hit 1,000 subscribers over there. We also hit about 100 videos, and I wanted to update it and do something new with it, because this whole time it's sort of just been me slapping videos. So I want to do something different with that and make it a little bit more neat and happy and fun. And we'll see.
Brighten up your day.
We'll see what happens. You're watching Wood. Morning Wood. Thank you for watching. We're going to go and do other things now. That sounds dirty.